Well, welcome everybody. This is Give Live, and we are doing another installation. We're excited today to talk about animal rescues. And we're here with a special guest named Lori, who Taylor and I have gotten to know over the last couple months, who's a Apex Give user. And somebody that we've greatly admired over the time. So if you don't know, Give Live is something we do monthly where we bring guests on and we talk with them about what they're doing with Give. And we try to talk about great ways that you can also do fundraising with Give for your organization or your cause. So we have folks here who are live watching with us on our Zoom call. And we have folks who are going to be watching this on YouTube later. If you are here live, we would love for you to bring your best questions. There is a section, a Q&A section or a chat section. We're equal opportunity question answerers. So use the Q&A section, use the chat section, whatever you like. Start populating them in there, and we will answer them throughout the course of the time. So today we're going to talk with Lori. Let's go around the circle super quick and introduce ourselves. We're going to say who we are, what we do, and what kind of pets do we have, because today's all about pets. So I'm Matt Cromwell. I'm COO at GiveWP. I have a lot of pets. So we have 4 chickens. I'm not so much of a chicken person, so I don't remember all of our chickens' names. You ask any of my kids what their names are, and I know one of them is, no, I don't know. We have 4 chickens. We have 2 rabbits, one named Poppy and one named Pepper. And I hate to start on a sad note, but we normally have 2 cats, but one of our cats is missing now for about a week, and I'm so sad. Our orange cat Kringle is out and about. We hope he just shows up randomly soon. But our other cat Schnuffy is still around. So 4 chickens, 2 rabbits, 1 cat. So that's me. Taylor, introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Taylor. I'm a content strategist at GiveWP, and I have 2 dogs. So I have a 10-year-old German Shepherd that I've had since he was a puppy, and his name is Legadoo. And he lives up to that because he has very long legs. And then I also have a little mini blue heeler Australian Shepherd mix, and her name is Pepper, and she is very peppery in her personality, so it fits. And I actually found her on the side of the road, so she is a rescue. Then I saved her from the shelter because she was in a very, very not friendly area for strays. So
we both have a Pepper. I feel like your Pepper would eat my Pepper. So
quickly.
Lori, you're next. Tell us who you are, what you do, and what kind of pets do you have?
Yeah, my name's Lori Paquette. I'm the founder of Buzz to the Rescues, and we are a full stack design and development company. We now specialize in dog and cat rescue websites and technology. And I currently have 2 dogs. I say currently because that seems to be in flux quite often. I have a flat coated retriever, which is basically a black golden. Her name is Pippin. And then I have a full on mutt named Memphis. And both of them are also rescues. I got them long before we started building the rescue software, but yeah, love them to death when they're not making me crazy. You may hear them on the call. It's very rare that we get on calls in my business that we don't hear an animal in the background.
Yeah. Nice.
There you have it.
You'll hear noises from my side too, but most likely they're of the kid animal kind. So great. Awesome. Well, if you are here on the call, I see quite a few folks who have joined us now. Feel free to add your pets into the chat. We'd love to hear what kind of animals you have and what kind of things you do with GiveWP. So just introduce yourself in the chat. Say hi, this is what I do. Even feel free to post links to your website, things like that. Just let us know how things are going for you. And we're going to get started. So First off, Lori, we'd love to hear just a little bit of the background and history of what Buzz to the Rescues is exactly. How did it come to be? What is it all about?
Yeah, so Matt, about 4 years ago, I was approached by a golden retriever rescue here in Los Angeles, and they needed a website. So we were just going to build a simple WordPress website for them. And in talking to the woman who was in charge, she was typical of the person persona that we would have as a dog rescue administrator. She was about 70 years old and had no technology background whatsoever. And she was using dog rescue software. And she made a comment: I put data in and it's like a black hole. I never get anything out. And she didn't know how to connect it to a website. And it was really antiquated .NET software. And there was really no way to integrate it. And from her website, a rescue in Texas saw what we had built, really liked what it looked like. We spoke to them for a little while and built their website. And in building that, we learned more about the machinations of trying to manage a dog rescue, and how do you relate dogs with people, where are the dogs, how do we process applications, how do we always get donations, because it's a nonprofit, so they're always looking for money for vet care. And in talking to the second woman, we realized that there might be a gap in the market. And we thought, well, maybe we could fill that. We thought about building on a lot of different platforms, but the reality is WordPress was providing us pretty much everything we needed from a front end perspective. And we thought, knowing all of that, let's see if we can really extend the back end capabilities of WordPress as far as we can get them. And when we were kind of looking for how we were going to build it, I remembered that we had built a Buddhist meditation website. And the Buddhist meditation website was a nonprofit. They needed donation software. And Give kept coming up at the top of our software search. And what plugin should we use? And GiveWP was always at the top of the list. So we integrated it. We had a fabulous experience. And honestly, one of the best parts about the experience was the support. Could always get the support guys, unlike a lot of other plugins we had used in the past.
You really know how to butter me up. I know. I'm super proud of
It's
the support team.
It's totally true. Yeah. So a few years later, now we're building dog rescue software and we're thinking, well, we've got a donation plugin. What do we want to do? Do we want to build it, or do we want to look back at what is off the shelf? And we went back and we started from scratch, tried to be open minded again. And I kept going back to, GiveWP's working on that Buddhist site. Why wouldn't it work for the dogs? Let's just bloom where we're planted. And
That's awesome.
so that's where we started. And we've been thrilled ever since. And so are the rescues.
Awesome. That's great. So let's I know you have a bit to share with us on the screen. So let's share your screen and show us a little bit of how you are using Give with Buzz to the Rescues in particular.
Okay, so can everybody see my screen?
Yeah, it's a little bit small. I think you have to expand the browser to be large.
Okay, how's that?
Yeah.
Okay, so Buzz to the Rescues, where we rescue rescues. What we noticed was we were trying to build a very simple, easy to use website that would integrate pet management software and donation management software, as well as business management software, under one umbrella, where we could definitely manage everything from one platform.
Mm-hmm.
The result of that is a website product, and I'm trying to move this, there we go. A website product that includes donations, and then we do different donation campaigns for the rescues throughout the year. I say that now because it just happened for Valentine's Day, so we created this for them. So They always have prominent calls to action with donate. And then we have a dedicated donation page where we have Give integrated. And we also try to help the rescues with their wish lists and the foundations that they work with. So we're always trying to think of ways to increase their donations.
Hmm.
Um, when the rescues work on our platform, they're provided a login, typical WordPress login, but we've changed up their dashboard so that they can manage the business end of the rescues. Of course,
Absolutely.
donations are clearly very important,
Yes.
so we prominently display your
I,
budget.
I want to pause right there super quick because I think folks here are, generally familiar with the WordPress dashboard. And I think most folks on the call should be looking at this and being like, wait a second, that is not a WordPress dashboard. I think it's absolutely gorgeous what you all have done with the admin, which for me personally, like as a longtime freelancer in the past that served clients, nobody ever cared about the admin experience at all. They just want their front end to look great, But the way that you have this so customized and so clean and gorgeous, I just think is amazing. It's really, really excellent work.
Thank you. We did think about our user. Again, the main user is typically a female over 50. They did not have computers when they were growing up, so there is a steeper learning curve for them. And the goal with the admin, because they were going to be in this dashboard a lot, we wanted to make it very, very intuitive for them so that they wouldn't struggle onboarding the software. And so we really did spend a lot of time on here for them.
Excellent.
The key for everything about our software is the dogs and the cats. And how do we relate a dog or a cat with an adopter, foster, and volunteer? So it's the pets and the people. This is what a dog looks like in the back end of
Mhm.
WordPress. Now, this is just a post, it's a WordPress post type.
Yeah.
And there is the dog.
And that's what this post type sounds like.
Right on
Yeah,
cue.
exactly. Um, so what we did is we have statuses that are taxonomies, really
Mhm.
simple. This is not rocket science.
Mhm.
And then we created a backend that would push the public facing information as well as the internal information. So this part of it is more like a CRM.
Mhm.
And so we were looking at Salesforce and Pipedrive and all the CRMs to build this functionality.
Mhm.
As you can see here, Brad Pitt donated, very nice of him. And this is pulling from Give. So what does that look like? This same dog, Ginger, in the back end looks like this. And in the front end, she gets her own page
Mhm.
automatically. And so everything that you see here is pulling from everything we add
Yep.
here.
Yep.
When they create a page or a post, we extended Give to create a Give form automatically.
Mhm.
So the users don't have to create it. And then we just last week integrated contracts. So when somebody wants to adopt a dog or a cat, we send out a contract, they agree to terms and conditions, and then they are redirected to another second Give form that we were also able to extend. So
Mhm.
now when you create a dog, you create a donation form and you create an adoption form.
Mhm.
When this money is donated, it is going to pull in the back end of the website into this financial tab for them.
Mhm.
So they'll be able to track all the money going in. And then we also added expenses going out.
Yeah. And that I love that timeline also. That is also very if you scroll down right there, yeah. The very CRM oriented activity stream there as well. That's really cool.
Yeah, and then we put in a filter as well so that they can just look at notes and things like that.
Hmm.
We also kept thinking, oh, I'm sorry.
No, can you expand on what the expense line is about?
Oh yeah, on the expenses, typically they're vet expenses.
Hmm.
So they can add a vendor, they can add a service. So let's say they took the dog to the groomer, they could put the groomer in, then they can put the payment in. And then this is going to sum up so that they'll always know. And then the other thing that we just recently built, this goes back to my initial conversation with the first woman that I talked to at the golden retriever site. She said she put data in and it was like a black hole, it never came out. So
Hmm.
what we did is we created data-driven PDFs
Mm.
that come from the data. Oh, there's the dog again. And all of the data from in this PDF is coming directly out of that post.
Oh, wow.
So they
That
can
looks
look at,
awesome.
thank you. Yeah, and it's going to be personalized for the rescue group. So it's going to have their color, their logo, their information, and then we can pull any data that we have in the back end of the site
Hmm.
into these PDFs.
Hmm.
And that makes a better match. So, like the things my new family should know about me, that is going to show what the dog is fed, what the
Wow,
dog is used to doing, how the dog acts on walks and things like that.
that's awesome.
I
Mhm.
love that you can put all this in one spot too. So you're not having to deal with like a donation website and then managing your dogs. Like it's all one spot.
Right, that was the goal, right? Let's not have siloed software. Let's just pull it all together because, again, somebody in their 60s going from site to site, yes, maybe we could have pulled the Zapier integration, but they can't.
Hmm.
So now we're doing that for them. And then we kind of thought maybe we would take it one step further, and with a lot of the major events throughout the year, we thought that they're not really designers, they're not marketing people, they're all about the dogs. So let's let them be all about the dogs. And we'll create some pages in the front end of the website. We send them an email a couple weeks before the event. Hey, we did this creative. If you'd like to opt in, you're welcome to. And
Mm.
we put it up for them. And again, this is a give form. And in this case, we wanted people to stay home and stay safe.
Mhm.
So instead of spending the money at some Halloween event, you can donate it. And yeah, and so then we created a Facebook post for them that looked like this. They
Mhm.
posted it on Facebook. We created the page, and I think they brought in about $20,000
Wow.
combined. Yeah, yeah. So it was helpful. Another example is this Paw It Forward, and basically you would donate in the name of your pet through the form. And then what we did, this was another very simple way that we were able to extend GiveWP.
Yep.
We had the form. We we went ahead and pulled it in. This is a sample, but at the time it was put the name of your pet and put the message. And they would put that in, and then we just did hooks and we
Yep.
pulled it all in. It was such a simple way to extend GiveWP. I think it took us maybe an hour,
Mhm.
and we've subsequently had it on about 30 websites.
Mm. Yeah, that looks a lot like our donor wall feature. It sounds like maybe you did something custom in this case,
I
or customized the donor wall. I'm not sure which one.
We did do it custom. I think we did it before you had the donor wall
Oh, I think,
feature.
yeah, that's right. I think we talked about that before. Now
Yeah.
you have the donor wall, and you absolutely can customize it to look just like that. But that's awesome. I mean, that I think that's what's so great too is like we built the donor wall because we saw people doing things like this, and now you don't have to custom build it anymore.
But
So,
even custom building it was so simple
yeah,
because Give was so intuitive.
yeah,
I mean, it really has been an excellent, excellent integration for us. I
yeah.
can't imagine. how long it would have taken our software to launch if we had had to go out and build even a quarter of what you guys have.
Yeah.
We would still be waiting to launch, I'm sure.
Yeah, excellent. Well, that's
Mm.
a nice segue over to what we want to talk about next. Is just kind of hash out how a lot of folks want to do big fundraisers of their dreams. If you don't mind, I'm gonna you can disable the share screen option there.
Sure.
Um, a lot of folks want to like build these great and amazing fundraisers, and they have big thoughts and big dreams, and then they go to a platform that offers donations, and they find that, oh, I can't build whatever I want. I just have to you know build a campaign exactly the way they want me to build a campaign. And that's fine. That serves a good purpose for a lot of different reasons. But GiveWP is different. It's supposed to be about your campaigns and your donations. Can you talk a little bit about essentially why you, in the end, decided to do this integration with GiveWP? I mean, you kind of have shown what it did, and in many ways that answers the why. But can you speak a little bit to that why? Why use GiveWP instead of some big platform out there?
I think there were a number of reasons. Clearly, we already knew how much support we were going to get. That was a big, big deal. I think
Mhm.
people underestimate how critical that is when you know that you have a partner that when something goes awry or when questions come up, you have somebody that you can turn to and you can get an answer quickly. Um, I do demos probably now about eight to 10 demos a week.
Mm,
And I have questions about donations on every single demo that I do.
mm,
And it's really nice to be able to read the documentation or put the question out and to know that things are getting built constantly, that
mhm,
you're growing this as we're growing and that you are responding to feature requests and things like that. So there's all the intangibles that I think are underestimated or not thought about as much. And then as far as the product is concerned, I like the fact that we could completely customize the
mm,
way we were going to manage things. When we build a website for our client, that back end that I showed you, that is global for all of our rescues. But
mhm,
then we do completely customize the front end of the website. So it's exactly what they want. We completely customize our application forms. So they're exactly what they want. And knowing that I can then go in and very simply when they say, well, can I customize the emails that are the thank you emails for the donation? Yes, 100%.
mhm,
Can I customize a PDF? Yes, 100%. Can I, what about end of year receipts? Oh, how about doing that with a click of a button? And by the way, if you do a manual receipt, then that will be in there too, and you don't have to manage those either. I
mhm.
can't tell you how many of our clients have said, just that. I will take it just for that. I will send you wine. I've been offered bourbon. I mean, I can't tell you how much alcohol I have been offered because of the end of year receipt. And I don't drink, so I should pass it on to you guys. But
I
I'll
mean, you
take the
took the
bourbon.
words right out of my mouth. I was like, you know where to send it. So,
yeah, exactly. So things like that, I think the customization, the support, the fact that you're constantly iterating, the fact that it is so easy to integrate and extend the product, it's a no-brainer. I mean, I wouldn't build a site now, a nonprofit site, without using regardless of the dog and cat software.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's so great to hear. Well, you heard it here, folks. Don't build nonprofit sites without GiveWP. That's the message.
Absolutely right. Yes.
Um, nice. Well, next little segue I want to do is talk about some features that we are planning to implement that I think that you would benefit from in particular, but of course, all of our users are going to benefit from. And a couple of them. One, if anybody's been following us for a long time, you know that peer-to-peer is important to us, and you know that it's been waiting for a super long time. I don't have anything to show you today, but I can tell you that we are actually making daily progress on a peer-to-peer solution that's really going to be excellent. Many folks who want to do a kind of like a mini form of peer-to-peer is what we often just call a front-end submission campaign. We have a tutorial on that where you can use a form builder to create a, a give form. And right now ours is highlighting Caldera forms. We're working on some new tutorials to show how you could do the same thing with Ninja forms and Gravity forms in particular. So those are coming. But front-end submissions is just one piece of what a whole peer-to-peer campaign could be like. Honestly, like in terms of the types of organizations and causes that I think could benefit from peer-to-peer, I really think animal rescues could benefit a ton from a peer-to-peer campaign. Taylor, what do you think? Do you what I mean? Can you imagine different ways that rescues might use peer-to-peer or other types of organizations?
Yeah, definitely. One thing that comes to mind is the mayoral election that Positive Coronado does every other year. And if we had, or if they had peer-to-peer integrated, it would be a much more team-oriented event versus kind of now how they have this voting thing. So I think that would be interesting. And then of course, there's all these dog walk races and marathons that people have. So you could totally do a thing like that and have people bring their rescue pets. Yeah, I think it's totally a perfect thing for rescues.
Absolutely. This is why Taylor's on the team. You just ask her a simple question and she's got like 25 ideas immediately. So yeah, so we're excited for peer-to-peer. We're making regular progress on it. Does peer-to-peer ever come up for you all, Lori, with your clients in any way?
We actually had a rescue in Washington State, and they were more focused on donations than any 10 rescues combined. I
Mhm.
mean, this gal just, she had it going on, and she was very interested in peer to peer. And at the time, I had to tell her that we were working on it. And now that it looks like it's going to come to fruition, I'm excited to tell her, hey, let's do another deep dive here and see what we can do. She had everything going on, but she was using like 4 different donation software suites to
Mm.
accomplish her goals.
Mm.
So there was none out there for her.
Yeah,
And yeah, I think it would be a huge addition because a lot of rescues, there it's fascinating the donation campaigns that they come up with. And
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing that I really like to talk about a lot, or I like folks to recognize is give as a product. We are a product, and a product brings people to a means, brings people to an end. And one of the ways that we help, our tagline is democratizing generosity. One of the ways that we help do that is empowering folks like Lori, like John Scheinman, like Greg Taylor, other folks we've had on our Give Live sessions in the past, uh, help you serve your client better. So that when a client comes with a request that has anything to do with fundraising, your answer can always be yes. And we love being able to help with that kind of thing. So peer-to-peer is coming. I am going to share my screen to talk about this next feature that's coming up. And it is called donor profiles. These are essentially, everybody can see that? Um, these are essentially, let me back up a bit, a front end facing way that your donors can log into your website and get everything they need um, to see what they have done on your website in terms of donations. So right here, you could see this is the login where they can log in with just their email with the email access feature that we offer, or they can log in if you created a user for them. And once they do log in, they're presented with this dashboard where you could see their image here, their basic information, their name, and we're adding what we have often called some gamification badges. So you can see here that Mr. Rory is a recurring giver. And then this team captain one is a hat tip to peer-to-peer. So the idea that you might be able to build teams, and Rory would be a captain of his team essentially. And also, considering his lifetime donations, he's a top donor as well. So right here at the dashboard, they get to see a quick overview of their giving statistics. And where, of course, we want our donors to keep giving, democratizing generosity and all. So we have a nice shout out here to give again. And then here's some of their recent donations and how they can view the receipt and things like that. Additionally, we have this other example. This is basically what it would look like with no add-ons at all, straight out of the box. And here you could see that we have the donation history and support for recurring donations and annual receipts already built into it. When they go to the donation detail screen, it's all right there for them. And here you could also see the PDF receipts add-on is integrated really nicely. So here's their donation. They want a receipt. They just click download and bam, they got it. Here's where they can manage. Yeah, go ahead, Taylor.
We have a question from an attendee. Is there any limit on the number of donors you could have registered?
No. Donors are, of course, just like WordPress users. So in many ways, there's a relationship between how much your website can handle and how many donors or users you can have. But generally speaking, a user is really just a line item in your database. So databases are made to, especially MySQL databases, are made to maintain hundreds of thousands of records. So the performance of your website has a lot to do with how well things load up and everything. But generally speaking, as long as you can, as long as you have decent hosting, you can have as many users, as many donors as you like. Did I understand that question correctly?
I think so. He said, thank you.
Cool.
Yes.
I mean, big giant caveat. That's a question for your host, but most likely your host is going to say, "No problem. As many users as you want." That's most likely what they'll say. Keep the questions coming, folks. So here's their recurring donations, and you can see here it's all built in where they can update the payment method, they can view the receipt, they can cancel their subscription. All of that is all right there, built in. And of course, some of the payment gateways, not all, support updating the credit card of your subscription. And that's a feature of those payment gateways specifically that we have implemented. So when you go to update the credit card, this is what you're shown here. This is what you currently have, but we're going to update it to this one. And then you click on update date payment. And now that card is going to be the one that gets charged on the recurring donation instead of the former. Yeah. So we're really excited for this. It's coming very, very soon. It's had some great progress. Here's the profile itself with all the information that they can update and show. Here they can even indicate whether they want their donations to show on the donor wall that we mentioned earlier. Do they want that to show or not and on the front end? And they can add their own avatar. And this is actually a new feature that a lot of folks have asked for. In the past, our donor profiles have only supported Gravatar, which is a WordPress product essentially that allows your image to follow you everywhere your email is used as a user. But not very many donors actually use Gravatar. So a lot of folks have wanted to support custom avatars for the donor profiles. And now with the donor profile front facing, you'll be able to just drop your image and now your donor will have a new image associated with them. So big stuff coming that we're really excited about there. So Lori, what do you think? Do you think your clients, your rescue folks are going to enjoy donor profiles?
Absolutely. Yes, yes, definitely. It's a beautiful interface and it seems to pack a lot of features into one area, which I love. So yeah, anytime you can give somebody control, it's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Increase engagement for sure.
Awesome. last one I want to mention super quick. One thing that I love about what Lori and team have done with Buzz to the Rescue is the way they've leveraged the Give form in a lot of different ways. And one thing that's coming up as well that you're not going to see, but it's going to be there, is a new form field API. And this essentially allows us to have much more control over the presentation of the fields in our Give forms. So, and that is something that honestly we've been building in advance to pave the way for peer-to-peer to be a lot more possible as well. So we're kind of putting little building blocks in place to lay down a really good foundation so that peer-to-peer can stand on something really strong. But with a field API like that, Lori and team can go hog wild, to use another animal meme. um,
You just made my whole development team very happy.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what it's about. So
Mm-hmm.
You're like, forget donor profiles. That's what I want.
Exactly, right? Yes. I mean, donor profiles, yes, but wow. Yes. Very exciting.
Awesome. Well, gang, thank you all so much for being here. I think we've answered all the questions we have at this time. Last couple seconds, if anybody is typing madly a new question, but I thank you all for being here. Taylor, do we have something lined up for Give Live for next month already?
We do. We are going to be meeting with the Charlottesville Albemarle Society,
That's
and that will be an interesting event. So if you're here now and you want to visit next month, please do. They are in the center of a lot of controversy, and they've done a lot to really help smooth things over. So
absolutely. Yeah, we did a Give story on them several years back, and a lot has happened since then. If you remember, Charlottesville was the site of a lot of uprising and tension a few years back. And they were able to use Give to help their historical society and kind of bring in some good positive vibes into that area. So excited for that. Oh, I see one thing here. I saw a mention on Facebook of donors being able to select the date they start recurring donations from. Any update on this potential work? That is one that, quite honestly, it's a good question. A lot of folks want to be able to say, all right, I'll do a recurring subscription, but I want it to start on, let's say, the 16th of every month because I get paid on the 15th. It's a really valid request. That one depends a lot on the payment gateway, basically almost exclusively on the payment gateway to be able to provide that type of functionality. With Stripe, you actually can do it. We have been hesitant to release features like that that are specific to only one payment gateway. But it is a feature that's important. And right now, we're not making progress on it. We are talking about it continually and looking into it. But generally speaking, for that type of thing, we want to at least be able to provide that support for Stripe and PayPal and Authorize.net, the kind of the big gateways that we support already. So there's some work that needs to be done on the PayPal side, which is happening because of their new API, the PayPal Donations API. They call it PayPal Commerce. And there is also some progress on Authorize.net as well. So if it was Stripe alone, yes, it would be useful for sure. We have tons of Stripe users, absolutely. We just, because we're trying to democratize generosity for everyone, we feel like it's better if we can hit as many gateways as we can. So it's on our mind for sure. And if all of you all aren't familiar, head over to feedback.givewp.com. This is a feedback system that we use called Canny, which you can give your votes. You can look and see what kind of feedback is already coming in, and you can upvote it. You can add your comments. You could say, oh, I want this too, but I want it like this, X, Y, and Z. Or you like, I searched everywhere. I don't see this feedback anywhere. I'll create my own feedback. You can do that. And anytime that we have progress on something, you'll get a notification of that progress on that item. So head on over there. Tell us what you think. Lori, thank you so much. As always, it's a pleasure to talk with you and to see all the awesome things you all are doing with GiveWP and just in general for animal rescues everywhere. Any parting last words, Lori?
No, except thank you so much, Matt and Taylor. It's always wonderful talking to you and learning more about how we're going to be able to put more features in the hands of dog and cat rescues. So thank you again.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good one. We'll see you next month.